Hey, what's going on YouTube? I just wanted to make a tutorial to show you how to insert data from a PDF in Microsoft Excel. Make sure to stick around until the end because I'm going to show you a cool trick in OneNote that you can use to be able to get the data from a PDF if for some reason if it might be a little bit sloppy or not getting it exactly the way that you want to. One thing to note is that this is going to only work if you have Excel 2019 or newer, because it is a fairly new feature in Excel to import data directly from PDF. But that's it. Let's get into it. So first thing you are going to want to do is go to the Data tab. Then from Data tab, in the left is going to be Get and Transform Data grouping, or you can click Get Data, and then at the top from File, then towards the middle from PDF, where then you can import the PDF that has data that you want to get into Excel. In this scenario, we're going to use ERCOT locational marginal prices as an example. It was just something that prints off as a PDF. And it's going to take a second to connect to the PDF, and here you then see the data. One thing to note is what Excel is going to do is it's going to go through the PDF and try to kind of guess where it sees tables. What you're going to do is you're going to want to go and click through. Now this example only has two of them because it's a fairly simple PDF. But for some PDFs, you're going to want to have to go through individually and click the different things for one, pick the data that you want because Excel might read something as a table that you might not think is a table, and two, to make sure everything kind of got in there correctly. So here we see locational marginal prices, different settlement points, and then it's kind of the same table that was read again, but the top part was formatted a little bit differently with merged columns and whatnot that Excel didn't necessarily read. So in this scenario, I'm going to use just a page one. Now I'm going to click Transfer Data. After clicking Transfer Data, it gets me into the Power Query Editor, which is really cool because this allows me to transform data different ways to make it usable. Now this is not necessarily a Power Query tutorial, so I'm not going to go super in depth into this, but with that said, to kind of give you some insight, you can, for example, remove columns, read data, choose which rows you want to keep removed. You can split a column into two. So if you had sometimes when you're importing prices, there might be something like weird how that did it. I don't know. You can split the columns. You can group things together. A variety of different things. But for this situation, I'm just going to click Close and Load to get the data into Excel. And here is data. One thing to note is that whenever data is imported into Excel, it is imported as an official Microsoft Excel table, which is great because it allows you to do things that can make life easier in an official Excel table. So you can click the drop down and then sort it, choose which items that you want, and so choose which items you might want to see, and what items you might not want to see. And that said, though, you might want to not have it in a table. So to get this out of a table, you're going to have to copy and paste its values. So you're going to highlight this, Control C, and then we're going to go to a new tab, and then right click, paste special values, and just as values. And then now doing this, we can kind of edit things to make it look the way they want to. So we're not going to column titles. We're not going to help. This is an Excel date actually. So Alt H N S gives short date, so it gives you the date. And then you can kind of adjust the date to include the specific time as well. So you can also just make different edits that you want to, and then make it, say, like, for example, delete the top few rows, and then highlight this information, Alt H O I. Here's a link if you're interested. It's going to be in the description, because that's where the data came from. For some reason, it's split into its own area. So Control X, get rid of this right here. I'm going to go right here and highlight this. Alt H O I to auto fit. You can highlight this again, Alt H O I, and then Control B to bold this. Alt H A C to get this, and then Control T. And then yes, table has headers. So, and then here we have kind of imported the data from a PDF into Excel, and made the basic edits to make it a little bit cleaner, a little bit more what we're looking for. Now, with that said, sometimes data is sloppy. Like, here is the table that the data came from. And as you can see, it's a very pretty table, you know? You look at the table and like all the lines are very straight. The numbers and the words are very, very clean and easy to like, nothing's blurry or fuzzy, everything's clean and straight. That's not the case in all your tables. And if it's not clean and pretty, unfortunately, Excel doesn't do a great job of importing data from a PDF. With that, something you can try is actually using OneNote. This is the cool trick I was telling you about, alluding to earlier. So what you can do is cut a picture of what you want to import data from. So here we're going to take a snapshot of, let's just say, this stuff right here. Now, we're going to go into OneNote. We're going to Control V to paste it. Now we're going to click on the table, right click, and then we are going to copy the text from the picture. That's one of the really nifty things of OneNote that I love. I don't do OneNote a lot. I make Excel tutorials, right? But OneNote, you can copy text from pictures, which I think is nifty. And then go back here, Control V, and it's going to need some formatting. Obviously, this is ugly. It's going to need, it doesn't paste formatting very well. You can kind of mess with the advanced paste features. So paste special. Yeah, I just tried to mess with the paste features, but the best thing that I found that's best is to go column by column and then copy this picture. So to go like for this column, Control V, now the column there, and then copy text from picture, which yes, it takes time, and then you can copy the paste from picture, go through the next column, not Spanish recognition, go through the next column, Control V, copy text from picture, and yes, it takes a while to go column by column, but with that said, it saves a lot. It's not necessarily perfect, as you can see, every single time. But with that said, copying text from picture can save you a lot of time as opposed to having manually type it in from a PDF. That's it. I hope you found this tutorial to be helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment. Free stock in the description. Make sure to subscribe. Have a nice day.